Hello, welcome everyone. You're one of the favorite channel KFCS, so all are welcome in KFCS as well as Cricket Wala. So guys, great game today from Ashes as well and from Sri Lanka. So let's talk and one of our fan will come and discuss. So Krishna and I, yesterday we see the day 2 game of Ashes. England were dominating, but suddenly Australia came into the party.
Yeah, means today morning session it was crucial for both teams, but Australia means what you say uh, uh, means they damaged the English batting lineup. Man, it is very horrible performance by English batting. They lost 6 wickets in just 47 runs. It is very shameful performance by England batting lineup, especially Captain Stokes. Um, Especially Captain Stokes. He was the main anchor for England, and he went against Stark. So and after that, wickets didn't stop. Wickets came in regular intervals. So that was England's minus point. As I told in yesterday's live that in morning session wicket goes. But this but our so-called other member Rahul had said that England would get to lead, but I told that it will be very difficult for England to get to a lead of 100 as well, and even of 10-run lead, England wouldn't have got, because if you see in baseball approach, whenever start scoring fast, there there might be a collapse. Who knows?
Yeah.
That only happened today.
Okay. So if we see the bowling of Mitchell Stark, especially, that was very crucial for Australia taking those 3 wickets. That was very crucial. That made a good lead for Australia. Do you agree with this?
And yeah, but if you see Harry Brook's wicket, that was Harry Brook gave the wicket to Mitchell Stark. Why? I don't know why did he hit that shot above the fielders. He should have just he should have just left the ball. So I feel that all these batters who went Bastrode, they all gave their wickets away. In
Yes.
baseball approach, you shouldn't take such risk and give your wickets away. That's such a foolishness by this approach that you're giving your wickets away.
Yes. So welcome Rahul here again in my
Yes.
channel.
Hi,
So
Kunal.
how are you?
Yes, I'm doing good, Kunal. How are you?
But as of now, England is not good. Yesterday they were
Yes.
dominating, and suddenly Australia came into the party.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Australia they collapsed on day 2 morning. England collapsed today morning. And yeah, I mean, too many wickets falling to the short pitched bowling. Even if you want to play aggressive and play with positive intent, that is one thing. But you should not be reckless. Being fearless is fine, but England's batting approach was very reckless. Every time, if you keep getting out to short pitch bowling, that simply means you're not learning your lesson. You're not trying to adapt to your opponents. Because, see, being positive and showing intent, showing aggression doesn't mean you don't adapt to your opponents and don't adapt to the conditions. You still have to. Adjust to your opponents and the conditions. You cannot just take all of that out of the equation and play a one size fits all strategy. That simply doesn't work.
Yes. So do you think yesterday we are always talking about the uses of Barristo, that how they can utilize the Barristo. They are using Barristo at number 7. So again, this was one of the effect that Barristo not be able to capitalize his innings.
Yeah, possibly a reason. Maybe if he was promoted up the order, he might have had more impact. Having said that, even after losing Stokes and Harry Brook early in the day, England still had a chance to at least come close to Australia's score. At least that much he can do. because the fact of the matter is, in this particular situation, he's still coming out to bat. It's day three. It's not a situation where you have to hit from ball one. He could have scored a proper 40, 50 runs and cut down the deficit for England, but he did not do that. So Australia ended up getting a huge lead out of nowhere.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So some of our subscriber is coming. Shuniva. Yeah, Ashutosh, live is already started. You can ask questions you want. Okay. So many things to talk today. If I talk about the Australian team, do you think the Australia is far ahead from England now?
Yeah, I feel Australia far ahead. I feel Australia just two down, and Smith and Khawaja is batting superbly. Means Smith came just half an hour or 1 hour after Manas Labuschagne threw his wicket away, and that was also a reckless shot by Labuschagne. He should have just left the ball. He tried to, and England review system is also very poor. Labuschagne was out earlier, but Stokes didn't review it. He was out earlier as well, and umpire didn't give that out. So that was also poor call by Stokes that he didn't review that.
Yeah.
But still, Oz are in very good position. They are eight. Uh, they're ahead. Carry Green to come. If they get to 400, 450 score, I feel Oz will win this game because scoring 450 in day five pitch, or even if Australia give England after a tea break, I don't think England can chase this total against this Oz bowling attack.
Yeah.
Pat Cummins as captaincy has been brilliant. He's also doing same as Stokes, the short pull tactics. So Cummins captaincy has also been brilliant in this as in this first two test matches so far. So I don't think England can chase against this Oz bowling attack. Whatever Oz give them 400 or 450.
Yeah, of course. So your views, Rahul here, do you think that again Khwaza is dominating against England?
Yes, Khawaja is absolutely dominating against England. I mean, he's probably been the best Australian batsman of this series so far. Maybe probably the best batsman of this series, I'll even argue. And Australia is well ahead in this match right now, 220 plus lead. Maybe if they score a little bit faster tomorrow, they can try to get a 400, 420, 450 run lead by T and declare the innings. They probably will bat a little bit after T as well, try to push the lead up to 500 to put some pressure on England. They will definitely do that, but I think they're in a very strong position right now. England, they bowled quite okay today, but still not good enough. I mean, when you're bowling on in overcast conditions, you want to get more wickets than just 2 wickets. So that's going to be a problem for England. They have not picked up enough wickets today. Also, reviewing was uh, uh, not very good use of the DRS, especially when the batting side is dominating you and you're desperate for a wicket and you have three reviews in hand. What are you trying to save? What do you have to lose by taking one review? Maybe they could have had Marnus Labuschagne out earlier, much before Anderson got him out, so they could have gotten one or two more wickets by using the DRS.
Yeah. Okay, so Rahul, do you think that England is totally depend on Joe Root batting? See how Joe Root goes out cheaply and then England not be able to complete the lead.
I can't really say it because actually on day two, well, in general, yes, you're right. But on day two, actually, Joe Root was the only guy who failed. All the others were doing okay. Then today, it just completely fell apart. In fact, there are lots of jokes on social media saying that now England relies on Joe Root for bowling also. When it came to day one and England was not taking wickets, Joe Root suddenly came and took 2 wickets. But yeah, this team kind of, I won't say they depend on Joe Root too much, but the approach isn't going to work against Australia. This baseball approach may not exactly work against Australia, or they have to kind of adapt. They cannot, they won't go completely the way they were prior to Ben Stokes' captaincy, but they have to kind of adapt and be a little bit play smart, not play rash.
Yeah, of course. So if we see the England team, do you think that England should do uh, some change in their batting order in second innings so that they can uh, chase a huge target? Because I am seeing that the target will be around 350 to 400. Australia will give him definitely.
Yes, absolutely. I guess they can. I think they can push Johnny Bairstow up the order. I don't think there's scope for pushing him um, much higher than number five. But I think Johnny Bairstow should come after Joe Root, followed by Ben Stokes, then followed by Harry Brook. I would put Harry Brook below Ben Stokes a little bit because Ben Stokes has more experience, so he should come ahead of Harry Brook. And then, yeah, I would bring Harry Brook at number seven.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Kunal, if you see, tomorrow first hour is crucial. England, if England has to restrict the target below 350 in first session, they have to pick at least. Out today, England got crumbled out by Australian bowlers. Same, England has to take first four wickets of Aussies batsmen if they want to restrict Australia below 350, 350 total.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there is a comment from subscriber that England need to understand the thing that they have to adapt to certain situation in test cricket because ultimately bowlers win you test matches. So your views, Krishna?
Yeah, but if bowlers win you test matches, yeah, exactly. That's a correct point. If you see, Anderson is not getting couple of wickets. He's struggling to get the wickets. I know he's 40 years old, but still he has experience. He's one of the swing king bowlers of Test cricket, but still he's struggling to get wickets in these conditions. I think it's after this Ashes or after this Ashes, I feel he will retire. I don't think he will continue because he's not getting those. He is struggling with this pace. See, if you see Oz bowlers, they are bowling 135, 140, 145 Ks in this Ashes. So England bowlers are not. They are bowling so slow. If you bowl slow, I don't think you will get couple of wickets. And I feel Anderson Moral and this bowling of Jimmy Anderson, one of the legends of the game, is also not getting wickets for England. That's why England are try. That's why England are getting wickets by Joe Root. So I don't. I feel in next Ashes, I feel Anderson should be.
Oh, some network issue.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, you cannot. I don't subscribe to this thing. I hear a lot of people saying baseball is revolutionizing Test cricket, but let's put it this way: you can't make Test cricket all about batting because, like Ashutosh has rightly said, it's bowlers that win you matches. You need to take 20 wickets to win a Test match. You can't change that fundamental aspect of the game. Comments from Ben Stokes, like some nonsensical comments, like saying in the future you won't need 20 wickets to win test matches, is absolute nonsense. You have to take 10 wickets to win 20 wickets to win a test match because you cannot hope to bat fourth all the time and chase 400 450 even if opponents declare only. You have to bowl your opponents out cheaply, and you have to have that capability at least in order to win test matches. You can't have a test match approach that relies completely on batting.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the World Cup qualifier also. One more comment. Since England started playing baseball, they haven't made supporting wickets for bowlers. That's why Jimmy is struggling. Okay, yeah, that is a valid point also. Because McCullum has changed the thing when McCullum comes to the coaching staff.
Yeah, he might have. But having said that, Anderson is not able to utilize the overcast condition in Lords. So something has to be said. Like I agree with Krishna Nair's comment that maybe Anderson might
Ashutosh.
retire after. No, no. Krishna and I said Anderson might retire after these Ashes series. I think he might do that. He's really looking past his prime now, all of a sudden. But thing is, Anderson has really uh, struggled under the baseball era. He's not been. He's been a shadow of himself.
Yes, of course. Okay, so let's talk about the World Cup qualifier. So today, suddenly we see that the Netherlands was. I think that Netherlands can win that, but anyhow, Sri Lanka managed to win this. I can't say this is a convincing win for Sri Lanka because batting order suddenly collapsed. Good innings from the Ninja De Silva and good bowling from Tikshana at the end. Rahul Ayyar.
Yeah, but I feel this was a game for Netherlands to lose. Means I feel Netherlands would have chased this total, but they crumbled into Sri Lanka's bowling attack. If you see, Tikshana and Hasaranga bowled very well. Their spin duo bowled very well. That's why Netherlands couldn't chase this. Otherwise, this total Netherlands could have chased this. This was just, it was not 250 or 300 total. It was just 213 total. Netherlands crumbled their batting lineup as usual, and they choked the total. I feel Netherlands were favorite after 213 total, but the spin duo of Sri Lankan mystery bowled really well, and Sri Lanka got first 2 3 wickets at start in the power play itself, and Sri Lanka were at the top, and Sri Lanka won it.
Yes. So your views, Rahul? Do you think
Yeah,
Sri Lanka?
definitely not a convincing win for Sri Lanka. Netherlands has gave Sri Lanka a major scare uh, today in the tournament. I thought that an upset was under way. Even though Sri Lanka took 2 early wickets, there was also a partnership between Baresi and Bas de Lead, which looked like it could take the game away from Sri Lanka. They were 88 for 2 at one point, but they ended up collapsing. And even though there were some partnerships, Scott Edwards scored an unbeaten half century in the end, and he made a very good effort to bring Netherlands close to winning. The required rate was really never in the picture for Netherlands. Required run rate was really never in the picture for Netherlands because they needed to chase only two or they were scoring at 5 runs and over, close to 5 runs and over consistently. So they only needed to chase like 2 or 3 runs per over in the end. But the problem is they couldn't keep wickets in hand. Hasaranga and Tikshna bowled very well in the middle overs. That's where Netherlands really needed to uh, go through with minimal damage. And like Krishna and I said, had they gone through with minimal damage against Hasaranga and Tikshna, they might have ended up winning this game. But really, credit to Hasaranga and Tikshana for really bowling the way they did. They were the bowling was really under pressure today because this was actually a pretty crucial win. At Sri Lanka lost this, then the next match is again. Then they have matches against Zimbabwe and West Indies, which are tougher. And then suddenly qualification becomes for the World Cup becomes that much tougher. Now that they won this match, they've got 3 wins in 3. They're on par with Zimbabwe, and one more win will guarantee them a place in the World Cup. So, all in all, crucial victory for Sri Lanka. For Netherlands, well, it was a decent performance. Uh, they were not disgraced, but unfortunately, from here, their qualification hopes also get a little bit tough right now because now they need to depend on Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka to drop a couple of matches.
Yeah, of course. If we talk about the West Indies point of view, actually West Indies wish that today Sri Lanka lost that. At one time, we also think that yes, Scott Edwards is there till the end. He can make a match, but unfortunate for West Indies also because now West Indies what will think that for Sunday result Sri Lanka versus Zimbabwe, those who won the match will finally qualify for first team to qualify for World Cup, and after that one team, then West Indies will think that one team will lose the last match also. So for that, West Indies need to do one more thing. They not just to win the match, they have to win the match by higher margin, maybe 100 plus runs or maybe 9 wickets or 8 wickets. So do you think Rahul Ayyar, this is the easy time for West Indies or West Indies is out already?
I mean, we have to be practical. For all practical purposes, West Indies is going out of the tournament because, eh, like you said, West Indies also has to win by a big margin. Right now, their net run rate stands on minus 0.35. You have Zimbabwe on plus 0.75. You've got Sri Lanka on plus 1.83. So these are huge. Uh, Run rates to make up, where these are huge what to say net run rates to make up for West Indies, and they have to win big somewhere along the line. They have also have to hope that Zimbabwe or Sri Lanka, um, what to say, lose big. The one positive for West Indies is if they play Sri Lanka, I think they'll probably want Zimbabwe to defeat Sri Lanka because their last match is with Sri Lanka as well. So that
Yes,
kind of puts qualification a little bit more in their hands because they're directly playing Sri Lanka, and then it's on them to defeat Sri Lanka by a big margin. That's in fact the last game of the Super Sixes, West Indies versus Sri Lanka. Of course, before that they have to defeat Scotland and Oman. There is no other option for them. They have to defeat Scotland and Oman to have a chance of making it to the World Cup and setting themselves up for the final match against Sri Lanka. If Sri Lanka defeats Zimbabwe, things get a little bit tougher for West Indies because then they have to rely on, let's say, they have to rely on Scotland to defeat Zimbabwe, and that's not going to be easy because Zimbabwe is playing in front of a home crowd. They've got home advantage in this World Cup. The only team, Sri Lanka is really the only team I can see really defeating Zimbabwe. If you ask me, I don't think Scotland can do it. Oman gave Zimbabwe a scare yesterday, but of course we all knew they were not going to be good enough to really chase down 333 against Zimbabwe.
yes, okay. So Krishna Nair, after two successive defeats, I can say that West Indies defeats was disaster against Zimbabwe, against Netherlands. They lost that match that we can't expect. So if you are with a West Indies team management, what you will think and what you will suggest to West Indies team so that tomorrow they can win big. I hope Krishna you understand my question. Yeah, Rahul, same question for you.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, okay. First of all, let me take the comment and then answer. Look, whatever happened, now it's a time for West Indies player to work on their mental aspect of game because since the exit of semi, they struggle to
To find a
find a
good
good.
leader who won them two World Cups.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They won two World Cup of 2020. This is 50-50 format.
2012 and 2012 and 2016 they won the T20 World Cups in 50-over format. West Indies for a long time has not had the game to be competitive in 50 overs or Test match cricket. Let's be very honest.
But
And
they have now Sami as a coach, so you
they
can
have
take suggestions.
Yeah, no, you can take suggestions from Darren Sammy, whether he has any post with West Indies or not. It's not. I mean, you will.
Do
Former
you
cricketer will always make himself available to the currently active cricketers. It's not like you won't have access to them.
Yeah, but Rahul Iyer, do you think still Shai Hope is not doing justice with his batting order? He should come into the opening position because this is too much that he are playing in a middle order. He is a opening batsman. He can go big.
Yes, absolutely. Shai Hope should open the batting for West Indies.
Because if we talk about West Indies team, I think opening was not convincing in this World Cup. If I remember only one match against Netherlands, they have good opening partnership of 100 runs. But other than that, their opening openers are struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. Their opening batting has struggled. They've largely come through based on efforts of the middle order in this match.
Yeah. Okay, so Rahul, do you think that West Indies need to think about the batting order? Means Nicholas Puran should come maybe fourth position, and Shai Hope will come up of the order because they drop Kyle Mears, bring Brooks was okay. In ODI format, Brooks is there, but do you think that Shai Hope is not utilizing his place, and plus opening combination is still not good? You can't rely on Charles every time.
Yes, absolutely. I think the opening combination is not great, and I think you need to have your best batsman up the order. Uh, I mean, because Shai Hope, Nicholas Puran, these are very experienced batsmen, among the most experienced in the West Indies team, and they can offer you a lot of runs and give West Indies very good starts with the bat and win you matches.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone have different views regarding cricket. So, according to your view, Rahul, if there is situation for a team, they have to uh, gain a run rate high. Means they have to not only win the matches, they have to win the match in bigger margin. So, do you think they have to bat first or bowl first? According to you, what will be better?
Mm, I think I think it really doesn't change too much whether with a pressure match where you have to win by a certain margin, because regardless of whether you bat first or bowl first, also depends on what kind of margin you have to win by. I think that is also a factor. If there's a situation where you have to win by 100 runs, and you have to win by that same match by in 10, let's say in for a sake of 50, or in 20 overs in a 50 over match, then I'd rather bat first in an ODI, because winning by 100 runs is a more realistic expectation than trying to knock off a target in 20 overs. What if you bowl first and you concede 300? Can you knock that off in 20 overs? It's not possible. So I think you have to see the here too, you have to see the situation and see which winning margin is more realistic before you decide to bat first or bowl first.
Yeah, but in my opinion, I think West Indies is that type of team. If you say him that to chase the 250 runs in 30 overs, they can chase because they have such good hitters like I can say Charles, I can say Nicholas Puran. The way Nicholas Puran is playing in this tournament, I think this is good for West Indies team. So, do you think that any change from tomorrow game or same playing 11 round?
I don't see much change happening in tomorrow's game. Honestly, I think they're playing Scotland, so I don't think they may change much, even though they have lost their last match. I mean, at least the batting order will not change. With bowling, we have to see whether maybe Jason Holder will be replaced or not. That's a big question mark. So
But Rahul Iyer, one thing is that now that they are using Jason Holder as a batsman also because Jason Holder can hit. That is the problem. Because if Jason Holder is only bowler, then they can replace by a bowler because they have all other bowlers. They are out of the playing 11. But yes, they are contributing Jason Holder. So that's why I think Jason Holder is still an element for West Indies that who can win him. But one more comment that his agree with our statement that hope should open, which is used to do uh, and like West Indies play their cricket where every players are smashing every ball, they need to adjust Roston Chase type and Darren Bravo type of player to give stability. Yeah, exactly. Because you see Roston Chase, he was bowling in 49th over. His batting in last few overs. Do you think Ruston Chase is that type of batsman who can smash in last few overs, Rahul?
I don't feel Roston Chase is that kind of a batsman. He's not such an aggressive batsman in that way. You can groom somebody to do that job, but sometimes with certain players, when they played a lot of cricket in their career, it's hard to just change the way they play completely, especially in the T20 format.
Yeah. If we talk about the playing 11 of this team, Brandon King, Jawson Charles is an opener. Brooks, number 3, number 4, Shai Hope, number 5, Nicholas Puran, Remario Shepherd, Jason Holder, Kimo Paul, Roston Chase, Akil Hussain, Aljari Joseph. So this is playing 11. So do you think that Romario Shepherd is not working for West Indies still?
Yeah, I think Romario Shepherd is a bit of a weak link in this lineup. Maybe he needs to be replaced with someone.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the Rohit Sharma fan is coming finally.
Hello,
So
Kunal Bhai.
yeah,
Yes.
so he tell me the another topic that I am starting now. G Tagarkar. So, first question from you, Rahul Ayyar. And when I see the Ajit Agarkar as a fan of Delhi Capitals, I am very sad with his campaign. The way Ajit Agarkar joined Delhi Capitals, Watson, Ricky Ponting, Ganguly, James Hope, so many stars are there, but still, Delhi Capitals was not too great. And if we see in selection committee, one fast bowler Chetan Sharma is replaced by Ajit Agarkar, another fast bowler. So, do you think Ajit Agarkar will be good for selection still?
I'm not very sure about that because if you've not had success with even an IPL team, it can be a little bit contagious. It may also show in your selection skills as well. So that's a huge doubt. Having said that, Delhi Capitals is a little bit different from the Indian cricket team. Uh, the, See, Delhi Capitals, they don't have the players on the field. You cannot simply win trophies just with having stars in your staff. You need to have good players on the field as well. If you have third-rate players on the field, it doesn't matter who you have inside the staff mentoring you. If you don't put the effort on the field. But as far as the Indian team is concerned, I think I'd like to reserve my judgment. You have to wait and see what happens because right now when it comes to selection, I feel the system is not great right from the top, right from the BCCI president. I'll even have to say the system is not good, so it could simply be a case of getting rid of one yes man to bring in another yes man. Okay,
Yeah,
yes man culture has become a thing in Indian cricket. So if you want to be a selector or a coach, it's like you have to what to say, just do as you're told. You cannot put forth your own ideas or anything. So it really, unless change happens really at the BCCI level, like at the top, the president and whatnot, you won't be able to see change at the bottom.
yeah. But if we talk about the Delhi Capitals management also, because I know some matches from Delhi Capitals that they can win, but still they are not be able to win just by one mistake that they are not utilizing Akshar Patel up of the order because he is a good hitter. If I talk about the all the players, comparing all the players, he was good at that time, but still selection was not good. Ajit Agarkar was there, Ricky Ponting was there. So do you think Ajit Agarkar is you can select better than Ajit Agarkar? I think maybe Ravi Shastri.
Mm, I wouldn't put in Ravi Shastri as a selector. I wasn't a big fan of him as a coach to begin with, and especially because many of the current players in the Indian team he has coached. He has been a coach for them, so him being a selector could lead to a conflict of interest. He might choose players based on who he likes and who he doesn't like. He may not really value players for their performance much. There might be a lot of favoritism in selection. So I wouldn't put Ravi Shastri as a coach. I think, sorry, as a selector. I feel that would be a huge conflict of interest.
Yeah. There are so many reports regarding in the media that BCCI is doing wrong decision one by one. First of all, appointing Ajinkya Rahane as a vice captain, and then appointing Shikhar Dhawan as a captain in Asian Games. All are saying that why you are going backward, why not going forward? If one of the young players should captain in Asian Games, and one of the young player like maybe Ashwin or maybe Jadeja, might be a vice captain in test matches, because everyone knows when Rishabh Pant will came, definitely he will get one of the opportunity, maybe captain or vice captain, because he is great still.
See, first of all, you you can't just take any Tom, Dick, and Harry and make them a captain. That is my first con. But you need some senior member to be in a leadership role. Obviously, you can't have somebody who just made his debut yesterday suddenly become the captain of the team. That really doesn't work. You need somebody with the experience and someone with the seniority, some level of seniority to become the captain. Doesn't mean you make the oldest person on the team the captain. I'm not saying that, but somebody who has been around the team uh, dressing room for a very long time, they deserve to be a captain. So that is my opinion. I believe Ajinkya Rahane deserves at least vice captaincy. He has stepped up as captain many times for the Indian team. For me, vice captaincy is the least you can do for him.
Yeah. Okay. So one more comment that रोहित शर्मा वेस्ट इंडीज में टेस्ट सीरीज जीत कर थाला जी की बराबरी कर लेगा. Yeah, Rohit Sharma if win this, yeah, possibilities high, because West Indies is not that confident team. They can win test match in their home condition. Definitely they will equals the record of captaincy of MS Dhoni. I think winning percentage, I think so, that will increase, or maybe series win. But that record will not work for Rohit Sharma to stay lifelong. I think Rohit Sharma need to fire in overseas.
Okay, so I don't see too much significance in this thing of equaling the number of test match wins, or what to say, equaling some
Series.
winning percentage, because how much has Rohit even captained? Let's be honest. He captained one two-match series with Sri Lanka last year. Those are the only two tests he played since being appointed as test captain. Then uh, that is in 2022. Then 2023, he captained the four test matches against Australia, one World Test Championship final. Anybody can have make their records look good by captaining in a limited number of series, and then what to say, doing it by defeating West Indies. I don't see that as some significant achievement. The question is, uh, yeah, I know MS failed as a test captain. I'm even as a Dhoni fan, I'll agree with that. Yeah, but even under MS, in Test cricket, India's won 21 out of 30 Test matches at home. We did very badly overseas. I agree, and Dhoni i- is in some ways responsible for that because he didn't groom the fast bowlers. But we dominating at home by using spin was actually started under MS Dhoni's captaincy, and it continued under Virat Kohli's captaincy, and it's continuing even under Rohit Sharma. So Virat Kohli, what he did is he improved the fast bowling resources and made India competitive overseas in countries like England, Australia, South Africa, and New Zealand. As far as Rohit Sharma is concerned, I can't say that he has improved anything in any format since becoming the captain. So when people criticize Rohit Sharma for his captaincy, we're not just criticizing whether he won trophies or not. It's also what he has improved in the team. I'm not able to, if I were to try to figure out what has Rohit Sharma improved about Indian cricket in his nearly 2 year stint as captaincy, I'm not able to find something where I can say this has improved under Rohit Sharma's captaincy. So captaincy is also not just about simply results, winning percentages, or winning trophies, but it's also about how you improve the team and make them better. Under MS Dhoni, uh, also the fielding and fitness levels of cricketers improved. Virat Kohli enhanced it, even took it to another level. And of course, Virat Kohli took our fast bowling to another level. With Rohit Sharma, I'm still yet to see what he has improved with this Indian cricket team? That is a big question mark for me. And also, as far as playing overseas, yeah, Rohit Sharma as a batsman, he had played well overseas in England on his last Test match tour. I won't deny that. But as a captain, he's hardly been even present overseas. When India played the one-off Test match in England last year, he got COVID and ended up missing the Test match. Then he got injured and missed the two-match Test series in Bangladesh. His first match as a Test captain overseas was, when World Test Championship final in England. So he still has a lot to prove. Winning this Test series in West Indies doesn't really achieve much as far as Indian cricket team is concerned. Any captain can win this series. Even under MS Dhoni, also we won a series in West Indies, so
Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
yeah, definitely. But for the this cycle up for upcoming cycle, that will be important for the India to win that series with clean sweep, will be more important. But more important is that the Ajit Agarkar selection. So let's see in upcoming tours after West Indies tour how they. I think World Cup selection will be done from Ajit Agarkar most probably. I hope so. So let's see what type of players they will see, and we will see some selection in Asia Cup also. So let's see how we will select. But I will say that all the best to Ajit Agarkar to groom all the new opportunities so that India can win this World Cup.
Yes, absolutely. I hope Ajit Agarkar does a good job of selection. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. So if we talk, Rahul, do you think that Indian team, the way Indian team is thinking about the two ways team, like one for Asian Games, one for ODI World Cup, do you think these things can disturb both side? Means which player goes to Asian Games, which player should go to the World Cup? They will disturb some playing 11.
Mm, I don't think so. I mean, BCCI has the resources to put together two teams, and for all the players, whichever tournament they get selected for, you focus on that. So you don't think about whether you don't go to Asian Games. Those who are going to Asian Games, they won't be thinking, "Oh, I should have been in the World Cup." Once you go to Asian Games, you focus on winning the Asian Games gold medal. And similarly, of course, if you're in the World Cup, you won't be thinking, I wish I could have played Asian Games. That's not going to happen. But I don't think we have to see what selections are made for the Asian Games, because Asian Games, let's be honest, although we want a gold medal, let's be honest, it's easier to win than the World Cup. Winning the Asian Games is going to be
Yes,
easier than winning the World Cup, because Pakistan, Sri Lanka, if they make it, which they most likely will, yeah. So Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, many of these Asian countries, the major Asian countries, they're going to have their main teams playing the ODI World Cup in India. They're going to have their second string team in the Asian Games. Our second string team will definitely be somewhat stronger than the other teams that play in the Asian Games. So we don't have to worry too much about whether our World Cup selection will impact the Asian Games selection. What we do have to worry about is who we select in the Asian games, and make sure that selection doesn't impact the World Cup selection. May not matter from a player's point of view, but from a team perspective, it does matter. You need to make sure that you select players who should be in the World Cup. In the World Cup, don't put someone in the Asian Games if they are capable of being in the World Cup. So that's something BCCI selectors Ajit Agarkar has to guard against.
yes, of course. So let's see what will happen in upcoming matches, and definitely within the first week of July, the tour will start, and we'll see how India is preparing and who will be the number three. That will be very interesting. Maybe Rituraj Gaikwad, maybe Yashasvi Jaiswal, or maybe Shubman Gill. So let's see what will happen. But yes, uh, we say all the best to Team India. So let's start a campaign with a bang. Still, England and Australia is fighting, so I think this Ashes will be interesting. Let's see who will win this Ashes. But your prediction, Rahul, up to which do you think McGrath, Glenn McGrath already done a prediction for 5-0. Do you think this will happen? 5-0.
Yeah, to be frank, I don't take Glenn McGrath predictions very seriously, because Glenn McGrath, regardless of the situation, he will say Australia will win 5-0. He says that before every Ashes series that Australia plays. So, but I don't see Australia winning 5-0 in the Ashes. I feel England will find a way to make their approach work. They're playing in home conditions. They're the home team, so they'll come close. I actually predicted before the Ashes that England might win 3-2, but having looked at what's transpired so far, I kind of have my doubts over whether England will win. It could be Australia 3-2. I think that's a fair prediction. I think England can win two matches. Let's not forget in the 2019 Ashes, even though England didn't really have their best team, they still drew the series 2-2 against a full strength Australian team. So we shouldn't ignore that. This is a much better team than the one that played in 2019, a much improved team. So they will be competitive with Australia for sure. And I think it'll be 3-2. I still think Australia should come out on top in this series.
Okay, so there's a question from subscriber that in Ahmedabad Stadium, how many Pakistan fans will be available after the controversial from Pakistan that they will come or not? Finally, they confirm that they are coming.
Mm. Okay, so I have no idea. I have First of all, let's see if the Pakistan cricket team travels to India first. Then we will talk about whether the fans travel. If the team, I'm not sure about whether Pakistan, even if Pakistan team does travel to India, which I think they most likely will. I don't think I'm not sure about how many of their fans would want to make the trip to India. Pakistan has some objective objections over playing in Ahmedabad too, if I'm right.
Yeah,
So I'm not if the team has objections to that. I'm not sure if the fans will want to travel to Ahmedabad. Of course, Ahmedabad is on the border. It's in a border state. It's in Gujarat. People can, if they want to travel to Ahmedabad, they can travel from Pakistan and go to Ahmedabad to cheer on the team. Remains to be seen whether they travel for the other Pakistan matches as well, uh, because all of Pakistan's matches are in South India. Their matches in Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Chennai, and only the match against India is in Ahmedabad in the north, which is closest to Pakistan. But again, that is Pakistan against India. So when they're playing against India, I'm not sure how many Pakistan fans will really be able to get tickets for the match. The Indians will probably buy tickets much faster. It's on Indian soil. Even for India Pakistan matches outside both India and Pakistan in neutral venues, there are more the Indian supporters outnumber the Pakistanis. So for a match happening in India, I think very few Pakistanis will come. Maybe even 100 is being generous, but probably even less than 100. It'll be double digit number of Pakistan fans, if at all there are any.
yeah. Okay, so Rahul, yeah, that was a good discussion today. And one more news is that finally KFCS family crosses the 1900 mark. So 1900, we are about to 2000. Only 100 subscribers are remaining. So, guys, just subscribe this video. We are always discussing about the World Cup qualifiers, and very few channels are covering World Cup qualifier and have a brief discussion of each and every team. And I think so you all like the coverage also, and so many subscribers are coming with the question. That is good. So let's see what will happen tomorrow, and I hope we will try to make do commentary on the special match of Zimbabwe versus Sri Lanka, because this will be the highlight of the match. Will decide who will be the first qualifier of the World Cup. Yes, Rahul.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, we will meet you tomorrow, and thank you, Rahul, for your time. We will
Yes, thank
meet,
you, Kunal.
and tomorrow we will talk about the West Indies versus Scotland, what is happening. Okay, so thank you very
Yes,
much. Goodbye
absolutely.
and good night.
Good night.
Subscribe and press the bell icon, guys.